Grief is the process someone goes through after losing something or someone that is important to them.
The emotion that consumes an individual, mourning the loss of someone or something that has been taken away.
Grief is being alive. It's human.
It's hard to put it into words.
How that person impacted everyone else's life. Is losing this person, knowing that they're absent from their communities, from their families, from their friends.
Assigning meaning to a person's life, to your life without them.
One of my friends said to me, "May you always remember the weight of his hugs."
Grief is not one thing because it's human.
Grief means that I have loved and I have lost.
It's a measure of love you had for another.
Is the price of love.
The hole that is left when someone or something that you loved has departed this earth.
That at any moment, that person I love could be taken away.
I don't take a moment with people I love for granted, for you never know when it may be your last.
Sorrow, the act of being sad and sorrow of someone else's death.
It can be deeply sorrowful.
It comes with deep pain and heavy sadness that consumes you in your everyday activities.
Depression, a feeling of emptiness.
At first, the grief just ripped through me.
It's sadness, it's mourning, it's meaning making.
Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay.
Every time it happens, it can be different.
And grief doesn't always move someone in a straight line forward after a loss, but instead in a perpetual series of steps forward and backwards in order to accept the new normal.
Sometimes it's very loud, other times it's completely silent. Because to process changes us.
A feeling of loss, a void in your life.
It's individual to each person, each experience is unique.
That's perspective, I suppose.
Cloudiness.
Surprising, really, like a gasp for air.
And then I felt vacuous, just so full of air. I couldn't ground.
There's a kind of relief that comes through struggle, uncomfortable, honest humor often emerges.
Hope to know that we wrestle through something now, knowing it won't always be this way. I wish that it was easy, that there was steps, 1, 2, 3, you do this, you've grieved, you're done.
Always having this heavy weight on you.
It felt like a boulder, holding me in one place, not allowing me to move or to breathe or to see the possibilities for future. That boulder has gradually eroded, and now it's turned into a stone that I can carry with me.
It's supposed to be hard.
Grief can be all-consuming and feel inwardly sinking.
It can be a long, dull ache. It can also be a sudden, sharp pain.
Grief is twisted.
As we endure loss and sadness, we gain a new kind of endurance. We learn joy. We learn to be present, building depth in our foundation, so perhaps we live alongside others with a changed grace and acceptance.
Space and grace for myself.
And because grief is hard, because we know that death is not the way it's supposed to be, there's a lot of hope in that, I think.
To me, grief is feeling like I'm standing still in a world that won't stop spinning. It's finding out big news and not being able to share it with my dad. It's seeing the car he used to drive. It's ordering the super crunch roll from Edahana. It's going to weddings and wondering what mine will be like without a dad. It's saying my mom's house instead of my parents' house. For me, it's seeing his hospital bed as clear as day, even though it's not actually there every time I step in my house. It's wondering what will happen when I dial his phone number. It's seeing an assignment due on April 2nd and being filled with anxiety. It's Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter and my parents' anniversary and his birthday. It's all of the seconds and the thirds that remind me that life without him is my new normal. Some days, my grief robs me of my ability to do anything, to form a cohesive thought, to feel any joy. Other days, my grief makes me smile. It reminds me of how sweet the love of Jesus is. It pushes me to become the person my dad knew I could be. It's seeing my tattoo in the mirror and hearing my dad say,
"Paige, I'm proud of you. Love, Daddy."